That's kind of a nifty little sound to it. Hey guys, welcome to JPlays. I'm Iceman, and this is my playthrough of Fallout New Vegas. And oh my god, I don't know what it is with this mod and Fallout, but oh yeah. If you by the time you watch this video, even though I'm recording this live to Twitch and recording it to the PC to upload to YouTube later, but oh, when I went to save at the end of the last one, the game hard froze, and it was an absolute pain in the ass to get that working. To get around it, I had to, in the end, restart my computer. Then, when I went back to see where the progress was, it never saved at all. So, I had to redo all of that gameplay all over again. And then, halfway through, I went to reload a save, because I was saving incrementally this time, and making sure it saved. Then, on loading one of the saves, it hard froze again, and at least now I know how to get out of that without having to restart Windows. You just have to, because I'm using Windows 10 by the way, and I am not a big fan of Windows 10. I way preferred Windows 7. I just think that Windows 7 was superior, but Windows 10 is the way of things now. Anyway, if you happen to run into the same hard freeze that I did in this game, the way around it, if you can't access Task Manager, which I couldn't, you have to hold down the Windows key and tab, go into your second desktop, and then from there open Task Manager and it'll work, and then you can close it. That's the only way it will work. Nothing else works besides restarting. So if you're doing Streamlabs or something like I was, and doing a stream, to be able to keep the thing going, that's the way to do it. Just a tip. We may run into that while we're going. I don't know what the hell is with this version of the mod, but oh, does not play nice with something. I don't know what. Yeah, but I'll be saving incrementally. So I've been able to get back to where I was up to. The only catch is because I played through it again, I picked up a couple of books that I didn't, see the first time around. So, but at the time when you do it, you don't remember whether you did that last time or not. So, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I might have picked up a book or two that I didn't have the other time around. Other than that, I've got the same printer cards. Anyway, let's talk to Roland. This guy's a bit of an asshole at first.
Oh, terrific! Daddy's boy let another bum in the door. Well, welcome to Library de Roland. Don't steal any of my shit, okay? Looks like you can't read anyways, so I probably don't have much to worry about. Well, it's not my fault. I had abusive parents and they, used to hit me. Huh? Oh, well. When did you take an interest in the interpersonal politics of a bunch of soulless machines, huh? I can see your pupils dilating, you filthy liar. Oh yeah, we've got 7 full books on polygraph machines alone. I may not be able to jack off, but I am smarter than you. Oh yeah. Well, goddamn, I just got served. I can hear the 2 remaining neurons in your head bouncing off each other to come up with that line. Well, my cohorts in here might go beep boop, put that back, silly human. But if you want to cross an unhappy metal automaton with metal claws and lasers built into his face, well, you be my guest. Okay, alright. Well, what else would you like to talk about? Maybe we could talk about how you're probably gonna starve to death. Did you know that if you don't eat, the human body begins to consume its own muscle and tissue after a week or two? You'd probably eat your own shit after that point. Pretty interesting read. Prim who now? Oh, we all look the same to you. Is that it, you racist motherfucker? Yeah, I thought so. Well, we look more different than Asians, at least. Uh-oh. I didn't say that.
Oh. Oh.
Look, you just mind your own goddamn business and go back to inhaling all the oxygen and jerking off to whatever you filthy animals do, okay? Oh, right, that's me, alright. The go-to guy for the special books right here. Good old Roland. Oh, I don't know. It's a goddamn library. You want you to look around, asshole. You know, believe it or not, I used to actually care about this place. Oh yeah. It was my sole purpose in this existence after all. So, when I see a bunch of reckless Neanderthals utilizing these books for the most distasteful of purposes, as well as wearing them out before any future generations can enjoy them, I decided it was best to put them away for safekeeping. Sue me. I'll give you humans this. I'm jealous of that whole disappointed look down and shake your head emote when another of your species is doing something utterly pathetic, like rummaging through another person's trash. I wish I could do that. If I was human, I'd be doing that to you right now.
And there was some more audio which wasn't in text.
Only if you tell me what you intend to do with them. Ha! No shit! You use trash as money? How about you give me something of actual value if you want me to share some sweet info with you? How about this? I propose a game. You give me a weapon repair kit, and I'll give you the first hint, which might lead you to where the caps are. Alright, let's be honest here. You humans, deep down, always know better, but you always choose to do the wrong thing anyways. Oh yeah, I know all about it. Besides, this isn't about how clever you are, it's about how foolish you can be. So come back when you found one, quitter. Go on, make yourself useful. Chop chop.
Grr. I don't want to give him a weapon repair kit.
Do you need a hand or something? Excellent. So yeah, that little hint. It's time to drop the kids off at the pool. It's time to go build a log cabin. It's time to go make a deposit at the porcelain bank. You get me?
Oh yes, I get you.
Listen carefully. Are you ready? Here it is. Time to go. You know, this is a classy establishment, not a homeless shelter for ugly, radioactive, pushy dipshits. But so be it. This is what our beloved master wanted, so I shall oblige. Here's the key to your special discount suite. I have no doubt you will feel right at home there. Oh yeah.
More extra audio again. So he said drop the kids off at the school, you know, time to go to the porcelain bank. Obviously a meaning for toilet. Now alright, before I go any further, Let's make sure we can save. Good.
Oh, recipe books on cooking radioactive dirt? I'm sorry, but they're all out at the moment.
Regardless of the freezes and all that, this is still a great mod. It's just really frustrating when that happens. Another book. Now here's one area where you can have some combat. But that's not what this mod's all about though. Another printing card. Just gonna check something. I hope he didn't mean what I thought he meant. You don't have to drink taller water, do you? It's probably not even going to do anything. Yuck.
You again. Somehow you've made me transcend my codebase and wish I had a stomach full of half-digested food and acid so I could violently spill it out onto the floor. Weird. A dump! That's our executive suite! I'm sorry you're not pleased with the accommodations. Well, alright, buddy. I've been clearly outplayed. You go use your crude little lock-picking device, Human, and see what it gets you.
Human.
Just as if, my good man, we put a lovely woman named Piper in there. Oh, maid? Maid! This gentleman's toilet is clogged. Oh, that's right. She's dead. Oh, well, she's one of our lovely guests that consumed almost all of the remaining food supplies and defecates in toilets that don't even flush anymore. Which I can all smell, by the way.
How?
I'm shocked. Shocked you of all people are a quitter. Oh, well, she's one of our lovely guests, which I... In detail? Rather tall, one hand with 3 fingers, cool eye patch, dirty as hell, spoke loudly, snored louder, spilled blood all over the place. It took a whole 6 months to get better. Scolded her master about some obscure shit and I couldn't care less about, and it finally went away.
More text that wasn't in the... audio that wasn't in the text.
You know, I read how the typical adult human body contains 5 to 6 liters of blood, but it doesn't really register until you see so much of it pulled out on the ground in front of you. It took 4.7 hours for our maintenance boss to scrub it all away. What a mess. Luckily, Helena took that bloody disaster to the infirmary before it spread to the Persian rug. Yeah, well, she was all messed up. Your organics take forever to kind of heal back to some kind of semblance of a working order. Even then, you're never 100% again. I'm glad I'm not one of you. Anyways, why don't you go ask Helena? She'll elaborate more on this. Jeez. Well, since we're besties now, I could try, but honestly, Alright, I'll give it a shot. Try me.
Lovely. I'm sure what he means is there's an entrance in here, but oh, okay.
Good. Now we both know just how low you're ready to go for some money. Now let's see how high you can get.
How high?
Oh, here you are.
Okay, let's make sure we can save. Man, every time I save, I panic because of what happened. Alright.
How the old world managed to waste so many resources on vapid enterprises is beyond me. What is the point of keeping a record on all these useless topics? This isn't a library, it's a graveyard for pointless knowledge. Give me a year, and I'll sort out the 100, no, say, 50 books worth keeping, while we cremate the rest and make room for a new chapter. The stupidity of these pre-war novels, in particular, are just too much for me to endure. I am still waiting for their database. What was the name of this wretched thing already? Arthur. To come up with actually valuable information.
Another printing card. One thing you can do with the books you find, by the way, is grabbing them for experience. bit of a shortcut.
So, are you getting comfortable in the library? I was wondering perhaps you could help me with something. Some years ago, 2 people came here. The first one wore some kind of purple robes. The second had heavy armor, military. From what I could gather, they were on some kind of scouting mission. The robed one, Dexter, really did extensive research, consulted a great deal of books, but never told me what he was looking for exactly. As to whether they found something, I can't say. They stayed for 3 weeks and they were just gone. I would like you to see if you can find anything out about them. They left in such a hurry that I had no time to ask what they intended to do with their knowledge of this place. Maybe they forgot something. They did not even tell me if they learned something useful. I don't know how to put this. We lost both keys to their room. So maybe there's something in it, maybe not. I have no way to be sure. My siblings told me I was overacting when I suggested blowing up the doors to get inside. Besides, Roland has the final word when it comes to the living quarters. You can probably guess what his answer was. Because they did. Dexter liked to record his observations at the first opportunity. It is something we strongly encourage our guests to do. And to share with us for survey reasons. We didn't expect that he would record so many, though. Worst thing is, he left them scattered all over the place. No, wait. The real worst thing was that there wasn't any relevant information on these. Yeah, it's a big deal. We had to deal with some rough situations in the past. We are trying to learn from our mistakes. It's pretty important for me, for us, to know how outside people perceive this place, and what they intend to do with what they learned here. We once received a visit from a group of slavers. They had been tipped off by one of our previous guests, who told them that there was food and shelter here. Things got quickly out of hand. We had to drive them off, violently. We had to seal this place off for a few months, the time to let things blow off, calm down. Roland should know which room those 2 were occupying. There might be something there. A note, or a recording on what they thought about this place. Ah, compensation. Well, there are some popular books we try to keep out of everyone's hands, mainly because their main appeal is military knowledge. And it's something we're so fond of promoting. We could print you copies if you wish. Caps? Are you kind of joking? We have caps lying around somewhere upstairs, but we can't give you trash as a reward. What will people say? Good. Come back when you've found something. Yes, great. So tell me, what is life like in the outside world? Can you describe it to me? I'm sure it will. Historically, humans have always strived to improve their living conditions. For example, soap.
Soap?
Yes. Oh, great. I can't wait to know what, Oh dear. I'll need much time to digest this. Please, take this. You can cash in the study room. It's the room on the southeast where our master sleeps. Come back and tell me when you want to give me a hand with another guest. wanted to ask, what is scratching an itch like? How would you rate it?
Satisfying. That's hilarious. Ah, one moment.
Gee, impressive. So it serves some function in the human courtship rituals then.
No. No, that's not what.
There is another guest I want you to investigate. Darren Andretti. On many regards, he was one of the most interesting guests we've had. But because of messy circumstances, I couldn't make a proper debrief with him. One night he became so badly drunk he began throwing insults at the books, us, and our mother. While the experience was very enriching from a vocabulary standpoint, we ultimately had to stop him before he blew up the entire bibliographies with C4. Well, he ended up being banned from this place, one of the rare times we had to resort to banishment. We feared he'd come back at us with a vengeance, so we confiscated a lot of his explosives and left him with but a few weapons. So the fact that he might reach the closest community, we offered him some valuables to somewhat compensate the prejudice. Economy, social studies, cognitive sciences, cybernetics. It barely made sense to us, but it looked like he knew exactly what he was doing. Picked books in separate shelves, rounded them up, packed them with C4. A prospector, a raider, we were never quite sure on which side he was walking. What we did realize, however, is that he is extremely eager to educate himself and learn to read and write. We were all surprised by his sudden burning passion for literature, except Helena. For some reason, she hasn't the right to disclose that information to us. For all I know, he began keeping some kind of diary during his sojourn here. He said it was good writing exercise for him. Finding it could be a start. I will give you the key. He threw it at my face instead of giving it back to Roland. He liked to take long walks throughout the whole facility, and outside as well. He also spent a lot of time with Helena. She won't tell me much. God knows I asked her to talk about him. She wouldn't answer. Patient-therapist confidentiality. Of course. I will ensure you do once you have found something. Yes? Okay. And for this, you are to be commended and rewarded.
Now, one of the good things you get to, with all those printer thingies, is... Please don't freeze on me. Wait for it. Okay. So, Now it's weapon. The thing in this is, it annoys me. You see the list. Misspelling. There's a lot of good perks you can get from this. The first one to get is Weapon Love Songs from World War One. Now that's with the description here. In here, it's got a different name. It's like Weapon Alexia or something. This one. So, nope, nope. One. Just one. Okay, so we got that. Okay. So that gets me the... So now my weapons decay 20% slower. So now that's great. Okay, so what else can we get? So the next one, let's see what else I want to get. Okay, energy tinkering. That's a good one. Prosthetics, yeah. Okay, so I want to get energy tinkering next. Problem is that half the names don't match with what they say they are in the perk list, so it makes it difficult. So it's called... Yeah, energy tinkering. Boiling your opponent. Okay. Ah, there we are. I want 1. Okay. And... Okay, so that'll probably do for now, I think. Yep. Second skin is pretty good too, though. Second skin was... So second skin's more like a long-term investment. That's like a later on. Yep, I'll grab that too. So that gave me 3 new perks in total. Now... if I get me some good armor later on, it gives me an extra 5 armor points. So that's really good. Alright, anyway. Let's make sure we can save and not freeze. Please don't freeze. Yep, cool.
Haven't had enough? It's nothing personal. You're just ugly, that's all. And I can smell your sphincter. Yeah, exactly. What is the deal about them? Why don't I? Because James has to learn how to let it go, buddy. Get busy living or get busy dying is one of my favorite movies used to say. You know, movies. Ugh, never mind. Yes? No. No.
Did they left? You mean, did they leave?
Huh? What was that? My hearing's getting a little fuzzy in my old, try again? No. Alright. Oh, I have plenty to say, just not about that. Oh, sure. I knew from the first second this guy was bad news, just like you, as a matter of fact. So I gave him a well-deserved hard time. He didn't even seem to mind that much, though. Isn't that interesting? No man with a clear conscience can put up with little old me. Surprise visits, my man. I'd knock on the door in the middle of the night and ask him what time it was. And then when he just began answering, I'm like, it's surprise visit time! And every goddamn time, he'd open the door and let me inspect the room, and that's how I knew he was up to no good. Anybody normal wouldn't have put up with this. In the end, he didn't even answer what time it was anymore. He would just mumble, surprise visit time, bleh, and let me in. What a fool. Yeah, well, you're no saint either, my man. You tracked mud in here and you smell like shit. I mean, every bot in here has a smell sensitivity 1,000 times higher than a mere human, but they're too polite to say anything. Well, not me. I remember that one time he didn't answer the door right away. I heard a very loud noise and then a bump. The whole thing was muzzled by the door, so I couldn't quite make out what it was.
Missing text again?
Well, I just love to brag. Well, of course I've been helpful. I'm a gift from the heavens after all.
A writer of great renown had it all. Friends, family, wealth. He wondered why he couldn't write anymore. He despaired. He cried. He drank. Why? He yelled, while tossing away heaps of single-worded scripts. Why can't I write anymore? It's simple, my dear, said his wife, freshly awoken. You're not suffering enough. She added, I can help you with that.
The fuck?
There are two kinds of poisons. Those that don't kill you and make you stronger. And the others.
Others?
He was the kind of man who praised butterflies for being gorgeous, yet crushed caterpillars out of disgust.
That makes no sense. What an absolute pile of drivel. Some of that makes sense, kind of.
Welcome. How may I help you? Any.
Really? What? I don't care. Oh, really? Sometimes it's worth it.
Forgive me if I'm being too inquisitive, but the scar on your forehead, it is recent, isn't it? Seeing how this is a bullet wound, you might have sustained damage to your brain. I think I might be able to help you with it. First, let me ask you, under which circumstances were you wounded? That's quite a story, I must say. And quite a miracle you didn't die. Let's have your head scanned now. Please sit comfortably while I prepare the procedure. Oh, you're awake. For now, the results are rather encouraging. It doesn't seem that you sustained major damage, though I fear there may be some complications. You just fell asleep for a few minutes. Time for the scan to finish. People suffering from brain trauma often encounter a wide range of personality and coordination disorders, as well as language impairment issues, social disinhibitions, and in some cases, extraordinary risk-taking, as well as a dangerous tendency to transgress rules. Did you observe any of those symptoms? When you told me what happened to you, there was one thing that bothered me. Your decision to go after the people who ambushed you. Did you ask yourself why you began chasing the person that nearly killed you? Especially considering how close he was to succeeding.
There were some spelling mistakes there.
Exactly. If you understand why I am worried, it may save us some time. That you think about your motives. During your stay here, and as long as you allow it, I will regularly monitor your cerebral activity. On your side, I might ask you to read some books, which may help you put your motivations into perspective. Wonderful! The first book I want you to read is The Count of Ponte Risco. Please come back when you're done with it. I lent it to Roland a while ago. He should know where it is. I am programmed to treat a wide array of human traumas. Do you need treatment? Perfect. Is this about us in general, or about one of us specifically? Well, we abide to our programming, which is restrictive for some parts, and very permissive for others. Besides our ability to emulate most human emotions, our main difference with traditional personality simulations is that we can learn and evolve. By questioning what we have learned, daily, we process all newly acquired information and compare it with our current knowledge. We analyze, appraise, and question what we know, and use it to build a new perspective. Although the learning process is very intuitive to humans, it is an incredibly complex process to AI like us. We have to prioritize and value every new lesson, every new idea, every new concept through careful examination and confrontation. A good analogy is the one of a crippled learning to walk with synthetic legs. In the same manner, we learn how to think with a synthetic brain. Besides the fact that we have to enforce our basic protocols, namely to protect humans, protect the library, protect ourselves, we are restricted in our behaviors by preset personalities. For example, my own neurocomputational matrix is programmed to be supportive, helpful, and comforting. When Roland, for another example, is programmed to be obnoxious, disobedient, and provocative. It's something our master called a grey area in our program. This occurrence arose once when we had to defend ourselves from a gang of slavers. They were a threat to the library, but they also were humans. Repelling them without any casualties wasn't possible. We were stuck in some kind of loop, unable to react appropriately. Our master was the one to provide the solution by directly ordering us to bypass all protocols, defend the library, and kill the invaders. He never told us why he did so, but when we talk about it among ourselves, it is rather clear that he made us so he wouldn't feel so lonely. To this day, I still ask myself if we succeeded. Almost human is still far away from the real deal. The only goal of these programmed emotions is to give more verisimilitude to our interactions with humans. Nothing more.
What's that mean?
Acting like we feel something is not feeling. I can recite a poem with proper tone and rhythm, but not understand its emotional significance. I know what you're talking about. Wasn't it a great book? And no, there's no zeroth law or protocol in our program. Well, as far as I know. Oh God, I hate thinking about this. Anyway, the only thing that can make us bypass our protocols is a direct order from our master. Yes? Ah, James. Isn't he a sweet fellow? He couldn't resist, could he? I told him this would make our guests uneasy. Shortly put, he is programmed to ask all kinds of questions, to be curious of the outside world and people. Because of this, our master decided he would be the first to talk to new guests. He's the one managing this false relation with the outside. For some matters, yes, even if we all have our field of authority. As for the library, since we have limited resources to ensure its perpetuation, he is the one to make long-term decisions. We can't go out. That would leave this place unattended, and we all have a role to fulfill here. Besides, what's a few Protectron out there if not easy pickings for scavengers? We are all programmed to try and understand what we can't grasp. For us, intuitive concepts like dreams, sensations, or feelings are elusive. There's a chasm between humans and us, and despite the odds, we have to work every day to find a way to cross it. That's how we are made. We are constantly chasing concepts that escape us. Maybe he expects to know you better through this, and through you, learn about the world. Yes? Roland. What of him? I don't know. He never let anyone in Piper's room before you. When I think of it, the only parallel I can draw between the two of you is a notable head wound and a tendency for vengeance. Strong character. Piper had seen many things and lived a whole lot of experiences outside. Survived the Holocaust too. I can't tell you more about it. The rest falls under patient-therapist confidentiality. Piper had an eye patch, a bullet wound most likely. Roland may have drawn a parallel between the two of you. If you ever find a way to force Roland to tell you the truth, and this might not come easy, you might get something interesting out of this. I know that, despite his foolhardy behavior, There is nothing gratuitous in his actions.
That's not how you spell parallel.
And they are? A little bit, yes. Our master needed to stay focused. Even if we each provided a form of stimulation, we were more or less yes men to him. He needed something to push him out of his boundaries from time to time. So to keep his fighting spirit alive, he programmed Roland. And as for why he allowed Roland to be offensive to our guests, I suppose he thought that it was critical for our guests to have at least a modicum of patience or self-derision. Please keep in mind that whatever you tell him, he will use it at the first occasion to irritate you. He's both clever and persistent. That said, I remember 2 people that managed to avert his vigorous badgering. As time went by, our master seemed more and more amused by Roland's provocations. In the end, every time Roland tried to taunt our master, he shrugged it off with a laugh. As for the other one, it was our first guest, Piper. And well, Roland forbids me to tell that story, but I'm not supposed to follow his orders anyway. It's a rather amusing story, to be honest. As you know, our master defined Roland to be offensive and irritating in great variety of ways. And there was one method which he was very proficient with: impersonation. Seeing how we resemble each other physically, the only way our master could differentiate us at the time was our voice modules. Then one fine day, Roland discovered he could mimic both my and James's voices. He'd then pass up as one of us and act as if he was malfunctioning. For a time, our master bought it and went to great troubles trying to repair us, until he realized that Rollo was mocking him all along. So he put a cowboy hat and star on him so he could never fool him again. Later, he decided to paint us all and give us some visual identity.
I don't know if Roland would be glad to know you got it back. He hated this badge so much, he used to bump into walls, doors, bookshelves to make it fall. Don't mind me if you want to give it back to him. I could tell you it gets better with time, but I would be lying.
Arthur is different. He is probably the one of us I can least relate to. He doesn't like to converse with us, and spends all his time compiling and organizing the data our master left him. Arthur, as far as his personality mind frame is concerned, is a total mystery to us. We don't even know why our master gave him one. There is one thing that struck me though. Our master sometimes called him Johnson by mistake. You're correct. Our master told us there was a reason why he programmed Arthur this way, but never bothered to tell us. Yes, his memory should contain every book in the library by now. If anything should happen to them, Arthur would be able to print replacements. He is also in charge of monitoring our maintenance bots and dealing with the vault's technical functions. Yes, there is a simple trick. He only answers open-ended questions. Yes? Oh, I assure you there is nothing much to know about me. I examine, I treat, I stitch. When I'm not, I try to develop my psychoanalytical skills, which is quite difficult. I treated quite my share of traumas during the last decades. Most of the time, our guests arrive in need of medical attention. I'm hearing you. To be truthful, I shared the same skepticism, if only to a certain extent. Though I doubt my own skills, I have reason to think that the machines will ultimately be able to provide this kind of service to humans. Let me take the surgery machine, for instance. It doesn't understand what it does, but it can heal human bodies all the same. In the same manner, Machines with no conceptual comprehension of the human mind might provide some of the support it needs. It's frustrating, having all this theoretical knowledge of human psyche without any personal experience of human feelings and internal conflicts. It's like having a blindfold, preventing me from seeing something I've been touching for decades.
Spelling mistake.
What does that have to do with any? Oh! Okay, that's funny. Okay, point taken. Do you wish to talk about something else? Yes? I will help you as much as I can, as long as you don't ask me to breach medical confidentiality. Strong character. Piper had seen many. And they...
I could...
Ah, it's a special something. I'm glad you asked. As a matter of fact, it's a symbol. Can you guess what it is supposed to represent? That interpretation holds a lot of meaningful information. It's a very nice answer. I like it. But the fact that you chose this interpretation is what's important. And that's precisely what the dino is for me. A way of knowing our guests. I am a machine. I will never understand symbols or interpret their meanings on my own. But I know humans can. But surely, you're not just here to talk about our plastic friend. How can I help you? Anytime.
Alright. If I remember right, and before I go there, actually I might better get there this way. Okay. So we have to find the Count of Ponte Risco, which is really the Count of... well, I forget the name of it. There's a movie about it. It's like the Count of... something Crisco. I remember seeing that book somewhere. Is it that one? No. That's the first one. Just to make sure we don't want any freezes. Cool.
So, Helena, getting your hands dirty with our guest's monkey brain yet?
With our guest arriving, you're choosing quite the time to interject.
I'll leave them be for a while. They'll probably trip on something sharp and accidentally kill themselves. Anyways, who cares? Come on, I guarantee you'll have your hands fuller with me.
How may I help you? Good. What did you think of it? What's your take on the story then? That's one way to see it. A very pragmatic one. No, not quite. But I'm glad you took to heart to follow my advice. There is another read I would like you to have. It's A Study on Ignatius Page by Robert Marlowe. I believe you might find a copy downstairs, in the biology shelves.
Hey now.
We just saw that book a sec ago. It's right near where the other one was. If I remember right, this quest starts off easy and then gets harder later. That's right, that's good.
Helena!
My patient is here, Roland. I am ending this conversation.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Helena, you are just too kind.
Cutting you off now. How may I help you? What did you make of it? I fear you are not quite in your right of mind, yes. But that doesn't mean I'm either right or wrong. Have you changed since your accident? Are you more yourself now than you were before? And if yes, will your current actions help you find yourself? All of these are questions you will have to answer eventually. Then you won't be out of your comfort zone. Yes, it will be the last one, too. It has no name. You will find it in your room, I believe.
Huh, that's easy.
Please move along. If you have any questions, James on the first floor will be happy to answer. Please move along.
How may I help you? I'm sure you have questions. When you were asleep during your examination, you began talking on your own. You told me the rest of your story, Goodsprings and the rest. A part of your subconscious clearly felt the need to express these memories. So I recorded it until I figured out how to help you. Before I give you back the other half of the paper, I wish you to finally tell me, why did you chase the man in a checkered coat? Do you understand now?
That last response. Go fuck yourself. It's funny, none of those responses are what I think. It means that your future is for you to decide. That's what it means. It's not set.
You never finished your sentence. You told me that you didn't know. That's when I understood that you needed assistance. So I arranged this little therapeutic process to give you time to ponder what your mind was brewing. In the meantime, I typed your story and wrote your half-finished sentence at the end. Of course, I will erase all of it from my memory. That's the expected effect that comes with knowing oneself. Be mindful that people change, that you will change in the passing of time.
Of course.
It's up to you to keep track of what you will become. Why would I? Your reasons, your choices, your trials are yours only. I'm here to help people heal themselves, not pass judgment on their decisions. Yes, that's all that was about. But don't worry, you will very soon harvest the fruits of your labor. Probably, but speaking the truth now and speaking the truth then have different value. You actually worked to find or to confirm your answer. You conferred additional meaning to your choice, and this kind of work rarely goes unrewarded. I'm confident you will see the good in time. Be assured, I will still be here if you need any further help. Please come again. I've come to enjoy our conversations. How may I help you? Anytime.
I forget how you complete that quest. It's like a last bit to it. Anyways, before I say anything, save. Yes. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna finish this one here. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you'd like to be notified about when I go about putting up the next video, be sure to subscribe on YouTube side of things, then you'll be notified when that video is made available. Alright guys, have a good one.